welcome to another week of Immortal Behaviour. Thanks to Tab, ahead of round 5, we're recording this. Can't believe it's going so quick.
It has gone quick, hasn't it?
Time flies. How's your tipping going?
Not good.
I'm horrendous.
There's been some big upsets.
Yeah, which is
Massive
great for
upsets.
the footy.
Yeah.
Not my tipping.
It's been the big... I still can't believe the Roosters beat Penrith that night. I still
Insane.
can't believe it.
So good. All right, let's rip in Tommy Turbo. He's back in the garage, unfortunately, not just for Manly fans, for everyone though. We love to see our stars out there and firing, but you actually picked up on it before the game that he had a bit of a niggle with his knee. So, and he said to you that he'd hurt his knee in the captain's
He's
run.
still got a funny story for you, and I'm still waiting, Turbo.
It's not funny.
Slipping over in the bathroom or something.
Given the circumstances, would you have want him to run out there and test it and play?
We don't know how bad it was, and we don't know whether it was a stability injury or it was just a knock. But he picked up an injury on the other knee, and it was quite hard to watch. But previous to the other knee going, he was running pretty freely. And once again, you can't question the medical staff. They wouldn't risk Turbo. No way.
Well, do you say hard to watch because obviously when it happened during the game, this is the other knee, while they were playing, he stayed on there for, what was it, about 20 minutes? And it was pretty clear after 4 or 5 minutes that it was no good. Is that the part you mean that was hard to watch?
It was hard to watch. Someone got in the clear, might have been Ethan Bullymore, and then he passed to Turbo. Turbo just could not run. And it's hard to watch when you know the history of injuries with Turbo. And look, you've got to take it out of their hands, the players. You can't let them decide because they'll always play, especially someone like Turbo. 6 weeks?
They're saying that it's a while, 4 to 6, I think.
Yep.
How do they manage that then? Obviously, Tommy Turbo's the one that you want firing come September, come October, when the big games really matter. Do you think Seibold maybe has a discussion with Turbo, and is it a matter of resting him sometimes, or how do you think they navigate that, making sure that he's good at the right end?
Well, I had a theory a couple of weeks ago that if he flies any longer than 2 hours, I wouldn't play him. So imagine he goes to...
In the air?
In the air.
Right, travel games.
So imagine he goes to Auckland, gets on the bus at Brookie, gets to the airport, there's an hour and a bit, flies 2.5 hours, 3 hours, gets on a bus from the airport at Auckland, there's another 45 minutes an hour. Sitting down so bad for your hamstrings and your lower back, etc. And then you tweak the hammy in Auckland. So there's two places, Auckland and Townsville. I'd be questioning whether you take him away, but he's had a history of soft tissue injuries. But this is a stability. This is a twist to the knee, so it can't be helped really. Trying to think, it's mainly been hamstrings, hasn't it?
Yeah, the big one's been hamstrings, and I think that's why this one probably hurts a little bit more because no one was really expecting it.
Is his shoulders?
He's on his shoulders.
You know what? Because he's so long and he pulls through tackles and he looks a bit awkward too, Turbo, on occasions. When he pulls through tackle, the feet and the knees get caught anyway. It's not a soft tissue injury, so that's a good sign.
So what, are we sending this clip to Siebes to say, can you consider...
Oh, he watches anyway.
I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does.
All the players watch
Consider the New Zealand and the Townsville trips. Maybe bench those ones and then he'll be firing come the back end of the year. Well, they've got a big game on Sunday, the Battle of Brookie. Who takes it? Will you be there on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm there. I like Manly actually. I think they can win. Lehigh Hopper-Whitey goes to fullback. He set up that try late with Kohler down the left side. Look, he's irreplaceable, Turbo, but Lehigh Hopper-Whitey, he's got just a bit of class about him. I think at home, I think Manly can do it. The question mark is Jerome Hughes. He's named in jersey 22.
Yeah, he's on the extended bench at the moment.
Now, if he doesn't play, I declare Manly pretty much morals at home. They're such a different team at home. I just love it. No punching. That's all we see in the build-up, the Battle of Brookvale. Punching, they're running 50 metres away, throwing haymakers.
Where do you reckon it rates in all time? Maybe just under that, the 95 Origin at the MCG.
Yeah, that was a good one.
What's your number one?
Well, you see in the 80s, they were the ones when they just tee off on each other. I just wish they could bring it back. You know what, if they brought it back, it won't happen. But if they brought it back, little blokes carrying on like absolute pests and punishers and grubs and hitting blokes late, they wouldn't do it because there's consequence. And just like when I started, if someone did that to someone like Les Davidson, they just grab you and just go, I won't do that again.
Who do you think would be targeted the most at the moment?
Well, have a guess.
One of your mates?
His name rhymes with seed. I think Reed would be targeted.
For sure. No doubt about it.
But there's no consequence now, so you can get up in their face and do whatever you want. Like in life, there's no consequence in life.
Zero.
Bring back the cane at school.
Oh, that's definitely not happening. We'll have the biff
You
back
know
in
what?
the
If
NRL
the
before that.
The school came to me and said, look, if your son or
He's playing up.
probably not daughter, if your son's misbehaving, can I give him the cane? I say, yeah, sign away. Rip into it. Give him about 6 of them.
They'll only get it once or twice. They'll learn their lesson.
Consequence.
Yep, I'm with ya.
Anyway.
Don't look into our parenting strategies when we're
No.
at home behind closed doors, but our kids are behaving at the moment, so play on.
How many kids do you reckon nowadays get the belt? None. Or the feather
reckon?
duster.
Yeah,
I don't think-
there'd be a few, but
If you gave you
because they'd pipe up, or there'd be a video of it, or
Docs would come over.
exactly.
My mum broke the feather duster on my backside a few times.
The feather duster. I had the wooden spoon snap a couple. You're laughing.
Where'd you get the wooden spoon?
Yeah, I was a yapper.
Really?
Yeah, I was a punish. We had this small bedroom house, and you could run all the way around, and I was faster than Mum.
So she's chasing.
Yeah. It was bad.
It's like a
It
cartoon.
was bad, but it was so good. Anyway, let's go back to the footy.
Bring back the cane.
Oh, please.
Maybe we could do that when they get sin bin. Someone.
What, the wooden spoon?
No,
or the
no,
cane?
the cane in the tunnel.
This is probably
Our
where
boss,
this conversation
Graham Ennisley,
starts and
just
finishes.
whack.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that'd be great.
Anyway,
Great content. Let's move on to the footy.
Battle of
Penrith
Bookie.
Panthers. Yeah, Battle of Bookie's going to be a ripper. Penrith Panthers, obviously another big talking point given how they're going to start their season. Nathan's back this week though. How much does that help them?
Oh, huge. Huge. His kicking game, just stating the obvious, they've really missed his organisation and his kicking game, but also his presence out there. When he's out there, and Nathan's voice would make the other players around him more comfortable. He combines so well with Isaiah Yeo, and then Isaiah Yeo to him, and then Nathan brings the outside backs into play. So with Nathan there, they're probably a 16, 18 point better team. Look, everyone's jumping up and down last week with the loss to South. They put 18 points on in the second half. At half time, they're down 28-0. I think they had 28% of possession. Doesn't matter who you play, if you're making errors, they made some dumb errors. You can't be making errors in your own half.
So when you say his kicking game, Joey, you mean obviously to finish the sets. Then you've got to make the opposition work their way out of that.
And then he
that's
drives
a
his
big
forward.
game changer.
Nathan, and they don't get bored with it. Nathan will just put it down in that corner and just continually, and they work on a strategy that if they can have the ball in play and it flows, at the fourth set of 6, they reckon teams crumble. So Nathan controls that. He won't say much. Yep, he won't say much.
Blaze Talangi, obviously a big buy for Penrith, hasn't been played too much, isn't in the starting side again. What do you make of that?
Well, once again, you don't know until you're in Penrith within the 4 walls. Look, we saw on debut what a talent he is. I probably think that they think Jack Cole's a better defender. He's a really good defender. Whether that's why they're leaving Blaze out, or maybe they just want to say, you know what, you got to earn your spot.
Is that such a bad thing?
No, not at all. But once again, you don't know behind the scenes whether there's a training thing. If there was anything with his footy, I'd say it would be a defensive side of things because he's a great attacking player. Or maybe they're just making him work hard.
Do you think it also just illustrates the standards that Penrith as a club have had for, like they've been so successful for so long, particularly bringing those players through from the pathways, but they've got that standard, and do you think maybe it is just Penrith saying, you know what, you're not quite there yet, but when you are, you've obviously got the talent side of things.
Probably for sure. If you think of the players they've lost over the last 4 years, it's just, and they're punished for success. One thing I will say about them, Liam Martin, Nathan, Isaiah Yeo, Dylan Edwards, they've all played a lot of footy.
Yeah.
None of them really played Origins, they played semi-finals, they played grand finals, they've had tours. It takes its toll. But I'm not worried about Penrith at all. They get their full team back, they'll be there.
What about Isaiah Yeo? He becomes the most capped Panther of all time on Friday, which isn't that so great just to see that play out because he's such a champion person and player, obviously. Do you think he's one of the best locks that we've ever seen?
Yep, he's right up there. I don't think he's gone past Bradley Clyde, the champion Canberra lock, but the game back then was a lot different. Nowadays, locks are that link in the middle of the field. They're like a halfback, and no one does it better than Isaiah Yeo. He's pass selection, when to pass, when to dummy and go himself. As you said, champion guy, the most humble champion you'd see. Good soul earth country boy. I think he used to play against his dad actually. His dad was a really good player.
He wouldn't, off the footy field, he would not hurt a fly that bloke, would he?
Well, his dad looks exactly like him. Like the old saying, the ball didn't jump the fence. He is a carbon copy of the old man.
Oh, good.
And his old man, by all accounts, was a really good guy. And boy from Dubbo.
Makes sense.
Done good. Started in the centre, started in the wing, maybe outside backs. Transitioned to the middle and done it at all levels. So, yeah, I take my cap off to you, Isaiah. Champion player.
Rip in. Good luck on Friday night for the footy. Look, it's time for our big call of the week. Thanks to Tab. What have you got?
I think Canberra are going to ambush Cronulla. They had luck with the judiciary. Three of their big boys, Papali'i, Tarpany and Big Red, Horsburgh, had charges, but they got off, which a little bit surprised on a couple of those. But I think Raiders can upset the Sharks. Last time they played at home, they gave it to Brisbane. We know how good Brisbane's going. And the other one, I think South Sydney will put a clinic on Friday night.
On the Roosters?
Yep.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Yep.
Well, the Raiders, I was speaking to Middo before, they've put 100 points on the Sharks in their last 3 games. So you might be right there.
Isn't that the other way around? Didn't the Sharks put it on?
No, the Raiders have. Because I was saying, so I'm a Sharkies fan, my husband's a Raiders, and the Raiders have been the Sharks' bogey side for our 10-year relationship. But the last 3 games, the Raiders have pumped them. So being back at home, I'm nervous about Sticky and his men.
They're so hard to beat down there.
Yeah.
There's an ambush coming for sure. And I think Manly's a really good hope, depending on Jerome Hughes.
Yep. Beauty. Let's move on. You just mentioned it, that game, South Sydney and the Roosters. The big one, obviously, Latrell's back.
Yep.
Now he's been named in the centres. Jai Gray holds the number 1 jersey to kick things off. Did that surprise you at all?
No,
okay.
Not at all. Latrell's coming back from a hamstring. Well, once again, we don't know how much running, high-end running, Latrell's done. I think put him at left centre for 3, 4, maybe 5 weeks till he gets his match fitness, and then put him back then. Jai Gray's leading the Dally M's. He's been their best player. But unfortunately, you've got a superstar like Latrell. I'd imagine the presence of Latrell at training this week, and especially add that they're playing the Roosters, Latrell's old club. The left side attack for South Sydney is up against Robert Toyer and Chad Townsend, and is the back rower on that, so maybe Siwa Wong. Anyway, that side's been leaking points, so good luck stopping that left side attack. Jeez, Latrell, I think Latrell is going to have a night out for sure.
Field day. What about Jai Gray? Do you think that that's their long term?
I don't know. It's a tough one for Jai, because we know Latrell is just, when he's on, he's one of the best players in the world.
And he's obviously their big game player too.
He's a big game player.
Him and Cody.
I mean, Cody last week, I sat and watched him. He is just a genius. Once again, the biggest rap you can give him is he's on par with Cliff Lyons, who was an absolute genius.
Is he one of your favourite ball players to watch at the moment, Cody?
By a mile.
Yeah.
I love watching him play. And if it's Saturday night, I even don't have a beer, so I'm watching.
I was going to say, where's this
watching with clear eyes and just sit there and watch him. But last week against the Panthers, the first half was just his selection of who to pass to, when to kick, when to dummy.
And the time that he has.
Oh, it's just
like everything slows down.
Such a good player. I hope he plays for another 2, 3, 4 years, Cody, because his game's not built on speed; it's built on.
Yeah.
So young halves, if you want to make it in the NRL, just watch Cody. Cody.
And depending on how young you are, maybe don't have a drink before it, so you can really tune in.
Do it responsibly.
What about Latrell in terms of how he holds up physically? Obviously, his fitness won't be there. You can train as much as you want, but there's nothing like game fitness. Do you think the Roosters will target him in defence? Try and take some gas out of him?
I think they will try, but the Roosters play to their left more with Angus and...
Mark Nwanganitawasi.
Say it again.
Nwanganitawasi.
I see him down the beach all the time.
He's a great bloke. Just call him Marky. Marky likes it.
Mate, he goes, mate, just call me Marky.
Yeah, see?
And I got to say, he's been a revelation this year,
Hasn't
Mark.
he ever?
He's got some attack in him. Yeah, so they play to the left more, but I'd say they want to get Latrell's tackle count up. When you're playing with Latrell, you just leave him out there and you just say, when you want the ball, just you give us a whistle. If there's nothing on, you just stay out there.
Wait.
You just give it to him in the right situations. He's unstoppable. Not only that one-on-one, if you get him 1-on-2 defenders, you can still destroy some player. I'm looking forward to that game Friday night.
Me too.
A call.
Can't wait. It's going to be pumping. What about on a call, the stadium? At the moment, South Sydney are pressuring the New South Wales government to try and make Allianz their home.
Yes.
What do you think about that? Do you think that that's a move that the fans could get around?
Well, for sure.
Yeah.
South Sydney. It's in the east.
It's right there.
It's right there. Getting across town to a call can be, especially Friday night, can be a bit punishing. I'd love to see him build a boutique stadium around the south side of Sydney, sell off Cogra or sell off Shark Park and then build one, that La Perouse or Botany area. We're talking about it before, there's not much public transport
As long as there's public transport, I feel like it will work.
Because Allianz, if Souths go to Allianz, there's South Sydney, Roosters, Waratahs and Sydney FC. There's a lot of traffic on that surface. If they could build a 20,000 down near the airport somewhere,
Surely.
so it's close to...
If there's an airport train line, can't we just extend the train line? How hard is that?
I don't know.
Doesn't the whole world revolve around rugby
We
league
mentioned
and
the
footy
Minister
anyway?
of Transport. Is it Joe Halen? Yep, Joe, come on.
Come on, please.
Let's come and have a meeting and we can talk about it. Yeah,
We've got it all figured out.
I just think it's started... Like Shark Park, capacity's 12,000, 13,000. I don't think they can get any more in there.
No.
Because they've got the hotels and the...
To be fair, that stadium needs a revamp. That's probably
totally.
at the bottom of the...
Well, do they sell that off and then get the money? They sell Cogra off and get the money, and then with that money they go halves with the state government or feds, federal government, and build a boutique stadium there. I think La Perouse are probably too far out. Like as the crow flies, it's sort of just over that water. Let's build a bridge too.
Let's build a bridge, chuck in a
But
train line.
I'd love to see another stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, down that.
And then keep the big games at a core, because we want that capacity.
A core should be only semi-finals or grudge match like the Roosters South, because on TV you see it and it's not even a quarter full. It's not a good look.
It doesn't feel as good either. Like Combank does it well when that's
Combank keeps the atmosphere in.
Yeah.
Where a core you can get lost out there. How long a core? Well, that's 25 years old now. 26 years. 99, I think the first game was played there. Record crowd, 120,000 for the double header. I think the Knights we played Manly, and then St George played. I don't know. How am I remembering this?
I don't know.
I can't remember what I had for breakfast. Anyway, yeah.
You're doing well.
I think, a stadium down the south side there somewhere where South could play, close to that area. Around Botany, there's a lot of sort of...
It's quite
I got
like
no
it's.
idea.
I got no idea
don't
about
know where
public
Botany
transport.
is.
I'm not going to lie, but surely it's in a central enough spot that we can make it work.
Chris Mims, he's Freddie's man. Chris.
All right, Freddie, you're
Get
on the
onto
job, Mr. NRL. Who can make it work? Let's do it. All right, round 5. What are you most excited about? The surf's good. I'm talking about the footy. We'll get out of here very quick.
I'm waiting for the high tide to go out again. I'm looking forward to Friday night.
Yeah.
Nothing like rivalry. And these two clubs hate each other. So Friday night and then Sunday, the Battle of Brookie. They will pack it in and it will be hostile and physical and
so good.
Nice and plenty of hate.
Just dirty.
Yeah.
Just dirty rugby
Dirty.
league. We love it. All right. Enjoy the footy over the weekend. We'll see you next week.